Almost a month after the story broke, the arrest of Anita Foster Machado is still the buzz of Bristol.
Yeah, the former executive director of the Bristol Library Foundation faces charges of embezzlement. Police said she took more than $20,000 from the foundation she oversaw over a 3-year period. Foster Machado's job was to raise money and oversee the use of $1 million plus gift to the library that was meant for outreach and enrichment programs and for building future community support for the library in years to come. Even before leading the Library Foundation, Foster Machado held several high-profile community jobs, all involving community trust and influence over public donations. So her arrest stunned people in Bristol. Even more stunning, the results of a News Channel 11 investigation. Long before she dazzled Bristol as a community leader with connections. Before she used $1 million plus gift to the library to pay high-dollar fees for A-list speakers like network news stars, best-selling authors, the famously famous, even the cake boss, and long before police charged her with embezzling thousands of dollars, Sullivan County and Bristol, Virginia detectives say Anita Foster Machado was Anita Howell, a convicted criminal with a track record for taking what didn't belong to her. In the Sullivan County Criminal Court archives, you can find case after case, mugshot after mugshot. The first in the summer of 1986. Charge, 13 counts of writing bad checks. Sentence, 10 days in jail. By January of the following year, records show Anita Howell was at it again. In a span of 7 months in 1987, police arrested Howell for a string of almost 85 crimes in Kingsport and Sullivan County. Crimes like forgery of checks, more than $200, passing a forged instrument, more than $200, second-degree burglary, and grand larceny. Records show Anita Howell stole more than $11,000 in checks, money, and jewelry from 2 former employers, an acquaintance, family, even a friend.
Basically, what happened is Miss Howell stole a check from one of her friends. She then proceeded to write the check for $250, and she forged the friend's signature.
A detective on that case wrote Howell had, quote, no respect for the law or the system. After she pleaded guilty, a judge sentenced Howell in May 1988 to a year in jail to be served on weekends and to pay about $28,000 in restitution and court costs. But records show Howell violated her probation within just a few months and kept violating it over the next 2 years. Then in 1994, court records show Anita Howell filed bankruptcy, releasing her from financial obligations. That money owed to the courts and her victims, records show she got away with only paying a fraction of it. By the end of 1994, having filed bankruptcy and met the demands of the court, Anita Howell disappears from the court record here in Sullivan County. About a decade later, she reemerges with a new last name and a new standing in society, not as a criminal, but as a community leader. 1999, a job at the Bristol Chamber of Commerce. 2002, a lead fundraiser for Virginia Intermont College. Now known as Anita Foster Machado, the Bristol Public Library Foundation hired her as executive director and lead fundraiser in 2008.
When Ms. Foster Machado came to us, she came highly recommended, and she came with stellar experience from some very strong local institutions.
In charge of more than $1 million left to the library by philanthropist Albert Noble, Foster Machado's job was to build for the future. She told the Bristol Herald-Courier, quote, my mom will tell you I was born a fundraiser. I was always asking for money. But more money went out than came in. By 2013, Foster Machado was laid off, and soon public library staff found problems with the books and called police.
Speaking personally, nothing surprised me more than the things that I saw.
Judd Berry runs the Bristol Library, a separate entity from the foundation, overseen by its own board of directors who, he says, is not finished asking questions about their former executive director with a lengthy criminal record.
I'm sitting here wondering, why didn't we know about that?
About a matter of public record. as easy to obtain as a book at the public library.
Anita Foster Machado is free on bond and set to go to court in October. I contacted her attorney and asked for a comment on this story. That attorney said her client could not comment because it is an ongoing matter in the courts.